The hospital ship Hope tore through the atmosphere like a dying star. Fire clawed across its hull, carving molten scars through the crimson sky of Zyos. Inside, alarms screamed like panicked animals. Sparks rained from broken panels. Gravity lurched. Sam locked his harness tighter, knuckles white. Brace for impact. Captain Mercer's voice cracked over comms, then vanished into static. The ship shuddered violently. The structural field was gone. That meant one thing. They were no longer landing. They were falling apart. The medbay erupted into chaos. Equipment ripped free. Supply crates slammed into bulkheads. A nurse was thrown across the room. Sam lunged. But the ship rolled hard and the world flipped sideways. Metal screamed. Something snapped. Then, darkness. He woke to silence. Not peace, not calm. Dead silence. The smell hit first, burnt circuits, ozone, and blood. His blood. Pain exploded in his leg as he tried to move. A crushed console pinned him in place. His exosuit flickered weakly, its power cores pulsing like a fading heartbeat. "Hello?" His voice came out dry, cracked. No answer. No footsteps. No life, just wind whispering through broken metal. Sam forced himself free, teeth clenched against the pain. Outside, the wreckage stretched. Endlessly. Twisted steel scattered across a rust-colored wasteland. The Hope was gone. Everyone, gone. He staggered forward, staring at the alien sky burning above him. Then on the horizon, movement, tall shapes, watching, coming closer. Sam's breath caught. He wasn't alone after all. And somehow, that felt worse. On a planet that was never meant for humans. Something had just found him first. They moved like shadows across the desert. Silent, fast, purposeful. By the time Sam realized they were surrounding him, it was already over. A blow struck his head. Darkness again. He woke choking on dust. Hands bound, body dragged. Pain tore through his injured leg as alien warriors hauled him across, the sand like cargo. Their skin shimmered gray-blue under the harsh sun. Their eyes, golden burning, never left him. He tried to speak. "I'm a medic." A boot slammed into his ribs. Silence, skyfallen. The words came rough, distorted through his failing translator. They dragged him into a settlement carved into a towering red cliff. Structures spiraled upward like something grown, not built. But something was wrong. Too quiet, too empty. Too many hollow eyes watching from the shadows. Sick eyes, dying eyes. They threw him into a circular stone arena. Symbols carved deep into the ground. A crowd gathered, angry, fearful, desperate. "The outsider brings the rot," one voice declared. "The curse spreads with him." Sam struggled to his knees. "You're sick," he said. "I can help." "Enough!" An elder stepped forward. "Blood answers blood." The crowd murmured in agreement. Then she appeared. Tall, unscarred, deadly. Her presence silenced everything. "Zira will carry out the execution." Her golden eyes locked onto Sam. Not hatred. Something colder. Grief. She drew her weapon. A blade of living crystal humming softly. "My sister died screaming," she said quietly. "Now you will follow her." Sam didn't move. Didn't beg. "Kill me," he said, "and your people still die." She didn't hesitate. The blade came down. Crack! The sound echoed like shattered glass. The blade exploded into fragments mid-strike. The crowd froze. Zyra stepped back, staring at the broken hilt in her hand. "Impossible," the elder whispered, voice trembling. "The prophecy," Sam exhaled slowly, "still alive, but somehow, that made everything worse. If the blade refused to kill him, then something far more dangerous had just chosen him instead. Silence gripped the arena. Then chaos followed. The spirit cannot be broken. The old prophecy. He is chosen. Voices clashed, fear, awe, suspicion. The chieftain stepped forward, cutting through it all. His gaze locked onto Sam, not with belief, but calculation. "I trust no legends," he said coldly. "But I trust what I see." He turned to Zira. "Your blade has failed you." Her jaw tightened. "Then I will not fail again." "You already have," he replied. "So you will correct it?" The chieftain pointed toward the distant mountains. A peak stabbed into the sky, wrapped in crimson mist. Silence Peak. Even from afar, it felt wrong. "Bring us the Sun Lotus," he commanded. "The cure to the rot." Sam frowned. "You think a flower?" "It is not a request." The chieftain's voice hardened. You will retrieve it, or you will wish we had killed you today. He turned to Zira. You will escort him. Her eyes flashed. If he dies, you die with him. The sentence landed like a blade. No argument. No mercy. Later, as the crowd dispersed, Sam stood alone with her. Fragments of her shattered blade glittered between them. I didn't ask for this, he said. Zira stepped closer, her voice low. Neither did I. She leaned in slightly. But understand this, outsider. If you slow me down, if you fail, I will finish what my blade could not. She turned and walked away. Sam watched her go. A warrior forced to protect him. A medic forced into a death march. And somewhere out there, a cure guarded by something that had never let anyone return. He exhaled slowly. Yeah, he muttered. This is definitely going to get worse. At dawn, they would begin a journey where failure meant death. And success might be even worse. Dawn came like a warning. The alien sun rose slow and heavy, painting the desert in blood-red light. Sam adjusted his damaged exosuit while Zira stood already prepared, unmoving like a statue carved from stone. She tossed a pack at his feet. Carry your own weight. No sympathy, no trust. Just survival. They moved fast. Zira set a brutal pace, clearly testing him, waiting for him to break. But Sam didn't. Every step sent pain through his leg, but he adapted, adjusting his stride, conserving energy, observing, learning, surviving. Hours later, the terrain changed. The smooth desert fractured into jagged canyons and towering stone pillars. The fractured lands, Zira said. Nothing here hunts alone. That wasn't comforting. The ground trembled. At first subtle, then violent. Dust danced at their feet. What is that? Sam asked. Zira's eyes narrowed. Run. The canyon wall exploded. A massive creature burst through solid rock, segmented. Armored, its circular maw lined with rotating teeth. Another tremor. Another one emerged ahead. They were trapped. Think, Sam snapped, backing toward a narrow crevice. They hunt by vibration, Zira said. Sam's eyes lit up. Good, then we can lie. He tore open his suit interface, rerouting power. Cover me! The creatures slammed into the canyon walls, closing in. Zira stood her ground, hurling stones, drawing attention. Sam activated the emitter. A pulse, silent to them. But not to the monsters. The creatures froze, then turned on each other. Go! They dove into the crevice as the canyon erupted behind them. Inside, darkness swallowed them whole. Rock cracked. The tunnels began collapsing. They climbed, crawled, fought their way upward. Until suddenly, light. They burst out onto a high ledge. Below them, the monsters tore each other apart. Zira stared. That was not warrior strength. Sam exhaled. No. He looked at her. It's survival. A shadow passed over them. A scream split the sky. Zira's expression changed instantly. Down. Too late. Something was already diving toward them. They had escaped the ground, but now the sky itself wanted them dead. The creature hit like a storm. Wings massive. Eyes too many. Its feeding spike slammed into stone where Sam had stood seconds before, cracking solid rock. Zira dragged him back. Sky leech, she snapped. It drains you dry. The creature circled again. Patient. Precise. Hungry. Their only escape. A narrow stone bridge stretching across the canyon. Exposed. Perfect for an ambush. We won't make it, Zira muttered. Sam shook his head. We will. He opened his med kit, mixing 2 compounds rapidly. What are you doing? Giving it what it wants. He soaked a bandage in a chemical blend. Heat, scent, blood simulation. The creature dove again. Sam threw the bait. It changed direction instantly. Hooked. Now! They ran. Every step echoed across the bridge. The creature realized too late. It turned. Dove. Faster this time. Closer. Zira shoved Sam forward. Move! They leapt off the bridge into a narrow crack in the canyon wall. The creature slammed into stone behind them, shrieking in rage. Darkness again. Silence. Then breathing. Alive. They stumbled forward until the tunnel widened. Light appeared. But what they found was impossible. A hidden valley. Green. Alive. Crystal-like plants glowing softly. Water flowing. In the center. A structure. Not natural. Perfect. Ancient. Zyra stared, stunned. This place shouldn't exist. Sam stepped forward slowly. No. His eyes lit with realization. It was built. The structure reacted. Light patterns ignited across its surface. A doorway opened. Waiting, inviting, watching. Zyra gripped her spear. This is wrong. Sam shook his head. No. He stepped closer. This is the answer. Deep inside that structure lay the truth behind the disease, and a secret that could change everything. Inside, the air felt alive. The walls shimmered like liquid glass. Patterns moved beneath the surface like something thinking. At the center, a pedestal, and on it, a metallic disc glowing faintly. Sam approached slowly. This isn't alien. Zyra frowned. What? It's technology. The moment he touched it, the room exploded with light. Images flooded the air. A story. Ancient. Massive. Terrifying. A civilization descended from the stars. They seeded the planet. Machines buried deep beneath the surface. Terraforming systems. Turning Zeus into something new. Something livable. Then, failure. Storms, collapse, extinction. The system broke. But it didn't stop. It kept running. Corrupting everything. The rot, Zyra whispered. Sam nodded slowly. It's not a disease. He looked at her. It's a malfunction. The images shifted. A mountain appeared. Silence Peak. At its summit, a glowing flower. The Sun Lotus, Zyra said. Sam's eyes sharpened. A failsafe. A small crystal rose from the pedestal. Floating. Waiting. Sam hesitated. Zyra nodded. Take it. He did. The moment his fingers touched it, the entire structure pulsed, then went dark. Silent again. Outside, the valley had changed. The plants glowed brighter, and a path, one that hadn't existed before, now led toward the mountains. Zyra looked at Sam differently now. Not as prey, not as enemy. Something else. You were right, she said quietly. Sam exhaled. Not yet. He looked toward the distant peak. We haven't survived it yet. Far above, hidden in the clouds, something massive shifted. Watching, waiting, they now knew the truth. But the mountain was about to test whether they deserved to use it. The valley felt wrong. Not dangerous, just aware. Sam stepped closer to the black glass structure, his reflection warping across its shifting surface. Lines of faint light pulsed beneath it, like veins carrying energy through something alive. This isn't just ruins, he whispered. It's still functioning. Zyra stayed back, spear ready. Then it is a trap, or a system. The moment Sam touched the surface, it reacted. Light surged. The wall dissolved into transparency, revealing a chamber inside. Zyra inhaled sharply. It opens for you. Sam didn't answer. His focus locked onto the central device, a floating disc etched with spiraling symbols, radiating controlled power. He stepped inside. The air changed instantly, cooler, charged. This is a control node, he murmured. Terraforming tech, planet scale. Zyra frowned. Speak plainly. Sam pointed to the glowing crystal formation spreading from the base. This world wasn't always like this. Something tried to change it, and failed. As if responding, the disk activated. A projection burst into the air. They watched in stunned silence. Ancient beings descending from the stars. Machines reshaping landscapes. Life evolving, then decaying. Storms, collapse, abandonment. And then corruption. The system twisted, spreading a crystalline plague. The Spore Rot, Zyra whispered. Isn't natural, Sam finished. It's a malfunction. The projection shifted, zooming toward a single mountain. Silence Peak. At its summit, a glowing flower pulsed like a heartbeat. The Sun Lotus, Zyra breathed. Not just a cure, Sam said slowly. A reset. The system flickered, then ejected a small glowing crystal. It hovered between them. Waiting, Zyra stepped back. Don't. Sam reached out anyway. The moment his fingers touched it, the entire structure shut down. Darkness, silence, and far above, something roared. They had just taken the key to saving a world. But something ancient had just awakened to stop them. They didn't speak as they left the valley. The air itself felt heavier now, as if the planet knew what they carried. Sam tightened his grip on the glowing crystal. We need to move faster. Zira nodded, but her steps had slowed. By midday, Sam noticed it. The slight tremor in her hands, the stiffness in her movements. You're sick. I'm fine, she snapped. You're not. She turned sharply but swayed. That was enough. Sam caught her before she fell. Don't lie to me, he said quietly. Not about this. Zira hesitated, then coughed. Tiny crystalline fragments shimmered in her saliva. Sam's chest tightened. The rot. Silence. Zira looked away. Then my fate is sealed. No, Sam said firmly. We'll reach the Lotus. And if we don't? He didn't answer. Because they both knew. That night the storm came. A violent wall of sand and wind forced them into a cave. Inside, Zira's condition worsened rapidly. Fever, shaking, delirium. She grabbed his arm, her voice breaking. Mira, don't go. Sam froze. Her sister. The grief in her voice wasn't anger anymore, it was pain. Raw and human. I'm here, he said softly. All night he worked, improvising medicine, cooling her fever, keeping her alive, refusing to let her slip away. At dawn, the fever broke. Zira's eyes opened, clear, alive. You stayed, she whispered. I made a promise. She stared at him differently now. Not as an enemy, not even as an outsider. Something had changed. Something deeper than trust. For the first time, Zira didn't see Sam as sky scum. She saw him as the only reason she was still alive. And that changed everything. The summit wasn't peaceful. It was sacred. The air shimmered with energy as they stepped onto the plateau. Crystal formations pulsed like living organisms, and at the center, the Sun Lotus. Golden, radiant, perfect. Zira whispered, we made it. But Sam didn't move. Because something else was there. Watching. A shadow passed overhead. Massive. Then it landed. The Guardian. It was enormous, wings like storms, claws that carved stone, but its body was broken. Crystalline infection spread across its flesh. The same rot. It's sick, Sam realized. Zira raised her spear. It will kill us. The Guardian roared and charged. Zira met it head-on. Fast, precise, useless. The creature swatted her aside like she was nothing. She hit the ground hard. Didn't get up. Sam's heart stopped. The Guardian turned toward her. One strike and she was dead. Sam ran, straight toward it. Stop! Zira tried to shout but couldn't. Sam stepped between them. The creature loomed over him, breathing rage and pain. He didn't raise a weapon. He raised his hand. I'm not here to fight you, he said softly. The Guardian hesitated. Just for a second. Sam moved. He pressed his last medical device against its infected flesh and activated it. The creature roared, then froze. The energy pulsed. Healing. Relief. Slowly, the Guardian lowered itself. Its rage faded. Its eyes softened. Then, it stepped aside, clearing the path to the Lotus. Zira stared in disbelief. You healed it. Sam exhaled. No. He looked at the creature. I listened. The Guardian didn't test strength. It tested compassion. And Sam had just passed a trial no warrior ever could. The Sun Lotus pulsed in Sam's hands, warm, alive. He carefully collected the golden nectar into a vial, each drop glowing like captured sunlight. Only a few, Zira reminded softly. Too much and the flower dies. Sam nodded. This isn't just medicine. It's a system key. As if responding, the crystal from the ancient node began to resonate. Light flowed between it and the lotus, forming shifting patterns in the air. Instructions. Not words, but understanding. Sam's breath caught. It's showing me how to use it. Not just to cure, but to fix everything. Zira stepped closer. The rot can be ended? Not just slowed, stopped. For a moment, neither of them spoke, because that meant something bigger than survival. It meant hope. Behind them, the Guardian lowered its massive head, watching in silence, not as a threat anymore, but as a witness. Sam placed a hand gently against its side. You were protecting this all this time. The creature exhaled slowly, almost peacefully, then stepped back, letting them go. The journey down was faster, lighter, not because the path was easier, but because something had changed between them. No chains, no hatred, just purpose. 3 days later, the Blood Peak clan came into view. Warriors gathered instantly as they approached. Weapons ready, eyes sharp. The chieftain stepped forward. "You return," he said coldly. Zira didn't hesitate. She held out the vial. "We bring the Sun Lotus." Silence fell over the entire settlement. Sam stepped forward. "This can cure the rot, but it must be used carefully." Murmurs spread. Hope and doubt. Then a voice cut through it all. "Or it could destroy us faster." A warrior stepped forward. Scarred, powerful. "Dangerous." The battle master, and his eyes were locked on Sam. They had brought back the cure. But now they would have to fight their own allies to prove it was worth trusting. "I don't trust him." The battlemaster's voice carried across the crowd like a challenge. "He's an outsider. A weakness." Zira stepped forward instantly. "He saved me." "And yet the rot still spreads," the battlemaster shot back. Tension snapped tight. The chieftain raised a hand. "Then we settle this. The old way." Zira's jaw clenched. "A trial." The battlemaster smiled. "Good." Zira didn't hesitate. 3 trials. Combat, endurance, and healing. That last word shocked the crowd. But the chieftain nodded. "Agreed." First trial, combat. Wooden staffs. First blood. The battlemaster struck like a storm, powerful, relentless. Zira didn't match strength. She adapted. Watched. Waited. Then, one mistake. She slipped inside his guard and struck clean. Blood. Victory. Second trial, endurance. A brutal climb. The battlemaster surged ahead early but burned fast. Zira paced herself. Controlled. Focused. Near the end, she passed him. Victory again. The battlemaster's expression darkened. "This means nothing." "Then prove it," Zira said. Final trial, healing. A wounded hunter was brought forward. Arm shattered. Infection spreading. The battlemaster stepped up first. The limb must be cut. Fear rippled through the crowd. Zira stepped forward slowly. "No." She knelt. Cleaned the wound. Applied lotus-infused medicine. Stabilized it. Saved it. The hunter's breathing steadied. The fever broke. Silence. Then realization. The chieftain stepped forward. "The victor is clear." The battlemaster said nothing. But he stepped back. And that was enough. For the first time in their history, the clan didn't choose strength through destruction. They chose the power to heal, and everything was about to change. Change didn't come slowly. It came like a storm. The ritual ground, once a place of execution, became a place of growth. Gardens replaced blood markings. Healing replaced fear. Under Zira's leadership, a new path began, not abandoning warriors, but redefining them. Sam stood at the edge of the settlement looking at the stars. His communicator flickered in his hand. A signal had gone out. Rescue would come. Footsteps approached. "Zira, you will leave soon," she said quietly. "Yes." A pause. "But I don't have to leave this behind." She studied him. "What do you mean?" "An alliance. My people, your people, science and strength together." Zira considered that, then nodded. That'd a future worth fighting for. She drew a blade slowly from her side. New, refined, engraved. Sam's eyes widened. "That symbol." "Your mark," she said. "The healer's oath." He smiled faintly. "Where I come from. It stands for saving lives." Zira met his gaze. "Then it will stand for that here, too." She stepped closer. No longer just warriors. Protectors. Sam extended his hand. She took it. 2 worlds, 1 purpose. Behind them, the garden grew under the alien sun, life where death once ruled. Above them, the stars waited. And somewhere far beyond, a new story was just beginning. They had saved 1 world. But the signal Sam sent would bring humanity to Zeos, and not all of them would come to heal.